Wrigglesworth's Hang-Ups by Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle. The bubbles get up your nose.
Hello, Sheffield 61977.
Hiya, Mum. It's Tom.
Tom? Oh, Tom. I feel like I haven't heard your voice in over 3 years.
You rang me this morning.
Well, yes, but since then I had lunch with your father. He took me to the cafe, said it was a special occasion.
Oh, lovely. What was the occasion?
He waited till I sat down, and then he told me it was a wonderful time to be alive. And he couldn't think of a better moment to discuss the general direction of Sheffield's local government in the post-Blunkett era. I feel like I've aged a decade and somehow lived through every minute of it. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Lulu's out for the day, so I'm in charge of the twins. They've just had a massive lunch.
Have you still got them on the breast?
I'm not quite sure what you're picturing. They're on Ella's.
Oh, that is good of Ella. We didn't used to breastfeed other people's children in my but I know the fads change.
Well, they're asleep now, so I've got an hour to myself. I figured I could either waste it completely or spend it bashing my head against the wall, so I decided to ring you and do both.
It's a tough job being a parent, Tom. The first few years me and your dad were married, we were permanently miserable. Then we had kids and it really took the edge off.
How is Dad?
Oh, much the same as ever, Tom. He's pacing up and down the drive, muttering about loopholes in the anti-terror laws. He says he wants to blow up Sheffield City Hall.
How have they upset him this time? Don't tell me they've closed the library.
Oh, no, they did that years ago. And surprisingly, he didn't mind. He felt the graphic novel section was attracting the wrong element.
Then what?
Tom, are you sitting down?
Of course I'm not. I'm the father of 8-month-old twins. I'm standing at the draining board with my head in my hands. Mum, what is it?
We've got new bins.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of bombshell that lands at my feet when I call home to my parents. You've seen Line of Duty, right? Well, prepare for real drama. I live in London with my wife and a pair of rent-dodging freeloaders, also known as our twin daughters. While they manage to sleep for about 14 hours in every 24 and spend another 2 hours eating, they've left me and my wife battling through on about 14 minutes sleep and reduced our diet to whatever scraps of food we find in the dustpan after the daily sweep of the kitchen floor. Yet it's still more appealing than living with other comedians. Meanwhile, my mum and dad live 160 miles away, in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, along with my 91-year-old grandmother, Mabel Bradley, who is known to my mother as Mum and to my father as the rent-dodging freeloader.
It's not just new bins, Tom. There's a totally new collection schedule. We're far too old for this level of upheaval.
Mum, there are old people in other countries who are living through wars.
Yes, but they're not living through them with your father. As far as he's concerned, the council are nothing but a bunch of self-centred, directionless, lazy, feckless...
Is that the council? Give me that phone. Hello, now, listen here. Have you any idea of the sheer and utter turmoil this whole thing has caused? You've opened a Pandora's box here, and you know what's inside it? A can of worms.
Whoa, it's me, Tom.
The thing you people fail to grasp is that our bin system was working seamlessly.
Dad, it's me, your son, Tom.
Oh, sorry, Tom. I heard your mother saying lazy and feckless. I should have realised it could just as easily have been you.
I hear you've got some new bins, Dad.
Yes, and a hangover.
A hangover? I've never known you have a hangover. You're not a drinker. Even when the twins were born, you said we should wet the babies' heads and produced a bottle of Robinson's barley water.
It's all Barry's fault. He started a microbrewery.
Your mate, Barry? Where's he found the space for that?
He's put it on the side of the bedroom his wife used to have, before she ran off with the door-to-door fish man. Oh, what a terrible trail of deceit it was. To start with, that was never mackerel. And you sold your mother a trout that winked at her.
Dad, I'd better go. I think Lulu's coming in.
Tom, this is important. So I was round there yesterday trying some of Barry's concoctions. He's got 4 IPAs of increasing strength. The heartbreaking haddock, the cold-blooded cod, the perfidious prawn, and the fish-selling bastard. I wouldn't touch the last one. It's got a floral bouquet, but it'll take the tarnish off any teapot.
Please, Dad,
Anyway, I think I overindulged last night. So you'll understand why I'm unable to greet the news about the bins with my usual relaxed attitude.
Dad, your usual relaxed attitude is basically what people who are like at Chernobyl.
I don't understand the council changing the bin system. Why mess with perfection? Up until today, it was working seamlessly. We had a blue bin for paper, or tins and bottles, a black bin for general waste, and a separate, smaller crate for paper, or tins and bottles, whichever you didn't put in the blue bin. And then once a week, the men would come round, scratch their heads, mix the blue bin and the separate crate in with the general waste, and then take the whole lot away.
Your grandchildren are fine, by the way.
My what?
Your grandchildren. I assumed you'd forgotten to ask me how they're getting on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. What must you think? Please don't get the impression that I'm in any way indifferent to your children, even though the novelty has gone.
What do you mean, novelty?
Well, your brothers have already had their kids. You can get a bit blasé about being a grandfather. After a while, they all blur into one screaming thing in dungarees. But they're doing all right, are they?
Yeah, they're asleep now. Just drained 2 lots of Ellas.
Who's Ella?
They've got some strange woman in to breastfeed the children. No doubt while they're sitting around eating the last of the cold placenta sandwiches. I don't know what's going on in London. It's all gone medieval.
Catherine, do you mind? Sorry, Tom. You know what your mother's like for irrelevant chit-chat. Now, let me take you through the revised bin system. It makes no sense whatsoever. Now it's black for general waste, blue for paper and card, and brown for tins and bottles. 3 separate bins with 3 separate collections. And people said Iraq was poorly planned.
That sounds entirely normal.
Tom, I think the exertions of fatherhood have warped your sense of what normal is. Don't you remember, I've only just built a made-to-measure bin storage facility.
No. My therapist says I block out the most unpleasant memories.
Oh, it makes me sick thinking about it. The whole thing has been rendered completely useless by the march of time.
Like a cupboard built for VHSs.
What's happening to VHSs? It was a design triumph, my bin cupboard.
I don't really want to be dragged into coming up with a solution, Dad. But could you not just put an extension on?
Tom, you're as daft as your mother. You can't put an extension on that bin cupboard. It'd be like sticking a lean-to conservatory on St Paul's. I could make the entire Wrigglesworth household 100% waste neutral. We can cut the council out of our lives and recycle as much as we can. What we don't recycle, we can compost. And what we don't compost, we can stick in your granny's bit of the house and tell her it's a family heirloom.
Well, I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, but for once, I thought my dad might be onto something. I could definitely see the merits of reducing the amount of stuff we waste. Not because I have a problem with our bins. I live in London, and we have a very simple system. Anything you can't fit in the bin, just leave it by the side of the canal, and nature will take care of it. No, I'm more concerned about the environment since I became a dad. I've got much more conscious of my responsibilities to the next generation. I want to do a bit more to take care of the planet so I can hand it over to my children in a decent state. I've not always been eco-friendly in the past, but your behaviour does change when you become a dad. You become more aware of your responsibilities. You want to do everything you can to safeguard the future of these poor, vulnerable, beautiful angels. Except at 4 a.m. when they're screeching the house down, when you'll give anything for silence and you're cursing your own sperm for not keeping themselves to themselves.
Hello? This is Mabel Bradley speaking.
I've got 2 metal hips, a polycarbon knee and laser-corrected eyesight. So if you're a robot trying to scam me, you'll find you've met your match.
Hi, Granny. It's me, Tom.
Oh, hello, Thomas. Let me just get this 2-man tent out of the way so I can sit down.
2-man tent?
Your dad gave it to me. It's a family heirloom. Now, are you making the most of this sunny weather? You need to be getting the twins outside as much as possible.
Not likely. I'm too scared of all the pollution. I'm inside with all the windows sealed up. The girls are grouchy as hell. I don't know if it's teething or a bug they've picked up. Or the fact that the windows are sealed and it's 50 degrees centigrade in the lounge.
Have you tried vinegar?
How do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Once you get to a certain age, you can just offer that as an answer to everybody. I just say, have you tried vinegar? And most of the time, they don't bother me again. Now, let me think. Yes, that's right. To calm unsettled babies, just dip them in vinegar, then hang them upside down outside.
You sure about this?
Oh, yes. Give it 20 minutes and fetch them back in. They'll quickly settle.
Yeah, because they'll just be glad they're inside and the right way up.
Do you know what, Thomas? I am wrong. I'm thinking of cushions. I think you'll just have to open a window.
I don't know, Granny. Wherever I look, I see traffic, sitting there, entirely stationary, belching out smoke.
Oh, that reminds me of your granddad. Hold on, your mum's here.
Why do I feel this sense of dread?
Tom, can you please have a word with your father?
Why not? I spend my days looking after 2 people who do nothing but eat, sleep and whinge. Yeah, I can fit in another one.
He's become unbearable about this waste business. He's made a flat cap for himself out of toothpaste tubes, and he's currently designing a range of lingerie based on Satsuma bags. It's like a cross between Victoria's Secret and Blue Peter.
I think you might be onto something. You've got to think about the future of the planet.
It's the future of me nerves I'm worried about. Honestly, Tom, I'm a prisoner of this waste business. I can't take it anymore. I caught myself the other day stuffing a crisp packet into a hedge just to feel alive again. Oh, hang on. I can smell him. He's coming up the path.
What do you mean you can smell he's coming up the path?
It's that flat cap of his. The air is thick with mented MP. That's the only good thing to come out of this madness. You always know when he's within 50 metres.
Who's on the phone?
It's Tom.
From the council?
No, Wrigglesworth.
Oh, that Tom. Son, how are you doing this fine day?
You sound very chipper, Dad. Has a neighbour died?
No, better than that, Tom. I've just made a breakthrough in my lingerie line.
Am I about to hear something that will scar me for life?
Well, you know those cardboard trays that pre-packed apples come in? I've realised that in the right hands, they could be the perfect insert for push-up brassiers.
I think we have different opinions about whose are the right hands, Dad.
Oh, I should have known you wouldn't understand, Tom. Anyway, you can tell your wife I've got her Christmas present sorted. I should have done this years ago. Do you know, I had no idea how much unnecessary stuff I've got through in my life.
Actually, I think you're right to be cutting down on waste. I'm on your side with this one.
Oh, yeah? Oh, God, I knew the whole thing was too good to be true. I thought I'd come up with a great idea. Turns out I'm on the same page as a shiftless beatnik. Of course, your mother's none too happy. No, she's just finding it difficult to adapt to the new regime. You might not be aware of this, Tom, but some people struggle to cope with change.
You surprised me, Dad.
Just the other day, she went to the shop and came back with a 4-pack of elderflower cordial, covered in unnecessary packaging, and we don't even drink that stuff. If she wanted elderflower, we've got some growing at the end of the garden.
Have you?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's elderflower. Those seeds you planted when you were a student.
I'd stay away from those if I were you, Dad.
We should all be doing more to reduce waste. I wrote to my MP about it.
Yeah, well, I assume you write to your MP every week.
Yes, but not usually on the inside of a bran flakes packet. Waste not, want not.
Actually, I wrote to our MP as well. I want to get them to do something about all the pollution in London.
Have they got back to you?
No.
Oh, that's good. As a serial complainer, Tom, let me tell you, it's no good when they just fob you off with a reply. It's when they start ignoring you completely, that's when you're really getting through to them.
Listen, Dad, I think I better go. I'm feeling a bit faint. It's the heat. Sealing all the windows up. It solves the pollution problem, but really does have its drawbacks. I'd better go and check on the twins. It's so sweaty up there. I need to look in every quarter of an hour to make sure they're not stuck together.
Fair enough, son. I've got loads of satsumas I need to eat today. There's a new prototype I want to try out on your mother.
No, Richard, absolutely not. Give me that phone. Tom, do you see what I'm having to put up with?
I'm just trying to look after the planet.
I don't know what to do with him. The environment's obsessing his every waking moment.
Likewise. It's not just my every waking moment. It's when I'm asleep as well. Last night, I dreamt I was being chased through the streets of London by a cloud of acid rain.
It doesn't surprise me. You and your dad have always been exactly the same.
That is easily the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me.
Catherine, could you turn and face me a minute? Do you know what, love? I think you've got the figure for kiwi fruit.
Hello? If you're wanting to tell me about some exciting investment opportunities, I'm warning you now, I don't put money into anything unless Michael Parkinson sends me a pen.
Hi, Granny. It's Tom.
Oh, hello, Thomas. How are you getting on saving the planet?
It's a mixed bag, really, Granny.
Oh, yes, your father's been trying to get me to wear one of those.
Yeah, well, I've been engaged in a proactive campaign encouraging people in my local area to consider greener alternatives to road travel.
That's a lot of words, Thomas. What have you actually been doing?
It's a two-stage process, Granny. Stage 1, let the tyres down. Stage 2, run away. It hasn't gone down quite as well as I'd hoped. I'm a bit worried what will happen if they track me down. Hopefully they won't follow the smell of vinegar.
Oh, you've been using the vinegar?
It's magic stuff, Granny. I've got rid of all our horrible household chemicals. Nothing nasty's going down our sink into the oceans. No more bleach, no more detergent. All we need is vinegar. Honestly, you walk into our front door, it's like biting into a pickled onion.
Oh, that sounds lovely, Thomas. Just like when I was growing up, when the air of Sheffield was thick with vinegar particles. We didn't have to season our chips, just wave them around.
I'll be honest, the wife's not thrilled. She thinks I've gone completely barking about the whole thing.
I'll have a word with her, love. I'll explain that once you go down the path of marrying a Wrigglesworth, you're locked into a downward spiral.
Right, yeah. Oh, by the way, Granny, while you're on, is vinegar any use for black eyes?
Black eyes? What do you mean, black eyes?
Who's got a black eye?
Oh, no.
Give me that phone. Tom, what's going on?
Nothing, Mum. How are you?
I'm not having the best of days, love. It's a woman's problem.
Oh, well, I won't pry.
This Satsuma bag's really cutting into me. Now, what's this about a black eye?
It was just a little disagreement with a stranger. And even though he punched me in the face, I do think that fundamentally he agreed with my point.
You sound just like your father. Who punched you?
The guy in a BMW. He left his twin exhaust engine running while we waited at traffic lights.
And you had a go at him?
Well, I had them all high ground, didn't I? I told him about the dangers of emissions and pollutants and hit him with the facts about toxicity levels in urban areas. In return, he told me about the dangers of shouting at strangers in cars and hit me with his own clenched fist.
Well, there's a lot of it about. You'll never guess where your dad spent this morning.
Where?
In a headlock. You don't expect that sort of thing to happen in Morrison's.
We got put in a headlock in Morrison's.
Richard, it's Tom. Tell him what happened.
Tom?
Dad, what happened in Morrison's?
Well, I'm surprised as you are, Tom. Scratch beneath the surface of a much-loved supermarket, and what do you find but the worst excesses of Guantanamo Bay? That's me writing to my MP, as soon as your mother's finished the Alpen.
But Dad, what happened?
Well, they needed to be told what damage they're doing to the environment. So I went down to the store with all the needless packaging from the elderflower cordial. And needless to say, things escalated from there. I think the other shoppers were behind me initially. When I pointed out the grotesque indulgence of selling cordial in cardboard tubes, there were gasps of disbelief when I started ripping tins of tuna out of the cellophane wrapping. And by the time I started emptying boxes of dishwasher tablets all over the floor and shouting, I think, to be honest, public opinion had turned.
And that's when the security guards got involved.
Oh, no, Tom. The security guards left me to it. My attacker was the bloke who just bought the tuna and dishwasher tablets. Fortunately, he was only able to hold me for a few moments before being overpowered by the minty fumes coming from my flat cap. And it was at that point I realised the elderflower cordial hadn't come from Morrison's in the first place.
I think what's happening here, Dad, is you've lost all sense of proportion. You need to take a more relaxed attitude to things, like me.
I'll be relaxed once this champagne's fully fermented.
OK. I realise I might regret this, but what are you talking about?
Well, I wasn't going to let the elderflower cordial go to waste, Tom. And the way Barry's been banging on about his microbrewery, I figured it can't be that hard. Of course, it won't be true champagne because it's not been made in Champagne by a Frenchman.
No, it's been made from elderflowers. By an idiot.
Tom, it's all very well being cynical, but which is better, to try and to fail, or to never fail at all? Hold on, it's the second one, isn't it?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I shouldn't have been all that surprised that my dad started brewing his own booze. In many ways, it's a natural conclusion to his war on waste. Once you've eradicated all unnecessary purchases and started reusing every single thing you own, you have to start making booze, if for no other reason than to try and forget the daily horror of living in a world where you no longer buy deodorant. That's what the good life gets wrong, you see. If the good life was real, Jerry and Margot wouldn't always be coming round for dinner because by 5 o'clock every evening, Richard Bryars and Felicity Kendall would stink of BO and be pissed. Hello?
Tom, why don't you say your phone number and geographical location out loud when you answer the phone like a normal person?
I don't know where to start, Mum. Listen, I can't stop for long. I'm off to a climate change demo.
That's what I'm calling about, Tom. We're very concerned about this fad of yours. It's got to stop.
What do you mean, we're very concerned?
We all are, Thomas. I'm here on the extension.
This is an intervention. Your obsession with saving the planet is doing terrible damage to everyone else's environment. We just think you should wind it in, Tom.
I'm just trying to do my bit.
You're not, though, are you? You still drive a car, and you fly abroad all the time. Last year, you did gigs in Spain, India, Mumbai.
You make more overseas sorties than the Luftwaffe. And you leave about as much misery behind you.
Unless you're prepared to give all of that up, you're just being a bit of a hypocrite.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my mum really pressed my buttons when she said I was being a hypocrite. If there's one thing I always hated, it's people being hypocritical. Unless it was me doing it, in which case I generally don't mind. No, the whole thing made me realise that it's okay to care about the environment. I'm going to go on caring about the environment, but not to the point when it obsesses my every thought. It's not healthy when anything gets you like that. I call it crossing the dad horizon.
Hello, Sheffield 61977.
Hi, Dad, it's me, Tom. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been taking the kids for a walk.
Oh, right. How many people clouted you today? I hear it's becoming quite a local fad.
Now, I've eased back on all of that stuff. I'm trying to prove everyone that I've got things in proportion.
Where did you go for your walk?
Along by the side of the dual carriageway. You'd think the twins wouldn't enjoy it, but the roar of the juggernauts has put them right off to sleep. You might want to get your waste efficiency drive in proportion, Dad. I reckon Mum and Granny would thank you for it.
Yes, well, events have moved on there, Tom. I had a bit of a problem with the elderflower champagne. Something to do with the amount of sugar compared to the amount of liquid. I may have confused pounds with kilograms. Anyway, thanks to this small error in the recipe, we did end up with a bit of a problem. The sugar is what makes the drink fizzy, you see, and this was rather a lot of fizziness. The pressure was unbelievable. What I'd made wasn't champagne at all. It was a slightly floral landmine.
Oh, God.
Well, I had to call in an expert. Barry took one look at the situation and knew exactly how to dispose of it safely. We carted the whole thing off and buried it in the Peak District. Barry knows all the places where you can dig deep.
Brilliant. So what you're telling me is that your drive to reduce waste has ended with you fly tipping a large quantity of volatile material in an area of outstanding natural beauty.
I think we can say it's been a mixed success. Still, the Satsuma lingerie came in handy. We used it as protective netting when we tied the demijohn to the roof rack.
So what about all the stuff at home? Are you still going waste neutral?
To be honest, son, I'm beginning to think I may have gone a bit far with that. I let it get to the point where it was obsessing my every thought.
Right.
So I've given myself another project. I'm building a new bin shelter.
Oh, right. How much space will this one have, Dad? 3 bins?
3 bins, son. If there's one thing I think we can 100% rule out, it's that Sheffield City Council will ever change the system again.
I'm sure we can, Dad. I'm sure we can.
Tom Wrigglesworth's Hang-Ups starred Tom Wrigglesworth, Paul Copley, Kate Anthony and Elizabeth Bennett. It was written by Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle, with additional material by Miles Jupp. The producer was Richard Morris, and it was a BBC Studios production. Tom Wrigglesworth's Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle. No rest for the Wrigglesworths.
Hello, Sheffield 61977.
Hello, it's me.
Oh, dear. Catherine, it's one of those spam calls.
Right. Well,
You know the
this
sort, Catherine.
is charming.
You think it's a human being, but it's just a recorded message. You can tell by the dreadful droning quality of his voice.
Dad?
I don't know why they call it spam. I don't see what it has in common with something so delicious when fried.
Dad, it's me, your son, Tom.
Oh, Tom. I am sorry. I thought it was one of those nuisance calls. Some faceless drone wasting your time with idle prattling. You can see where the confusion came from.
It's nice to hear from you too, Dad. How's the week been?
Oh, non-stop, son. On Monday, I replaced the laces in my brogues. Tuesday, I found 2 pairs of reading glasses I'd feared were lost for good. And Wednesday and Thursday, I just had to take it easy, just to get my breath back.
Impressive stuff, Dad. I can see you're maintaining the kind of schedule that would give bed sores to a sloth.
Sound just like your mother. You know, Tom, at times, she makes out that our life together is rather uneventful.
There've been a few hints, have there?
Yeah, just a few things she's said, and some others she's put in writing. And every so often I've caught her pacing around by the garden fence looking all sad, a bit like a polar bear in a French zoo. Still, she'll change her tune when she finds out about our romantic break.
Oh, yeah. I'm impressed you came up with this, Dad. Your definition of a romantic trip normally extends to a drive in the rain to the designer outlet village.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Tom. Anyway, we went there last year. Did you not get the pictures? No, this time I needed something special. Now, you may not know this, Tom, but next weekend marks 50 years from the day when I met your mother.
Of course, silly me. Will it be laying a wreath at the cenotaph?
Cheeky sod. I remember it so well, Tom. Like it was yesterday. Of course, we were both abroad at the time.
Really?
Your mother was volunteering, working with young people, and I'd just finished my accountancy exams. Before I began my professional life, I wanted to see the world for myself, explore all of its most far-flung corners. And so began my gap fortnight.
What self-indulgence.
I know. Within days, I'd met your mother. I'd stopped the car by the side of the road to spend a penny. She was on a day hike to see the natural marvels of the countryside. Little did she know what she was to set her eyes on.
Little indeed.
We struck up a conversation about our respective views on Tommy Steele. She was pro, I was a don't know. I steered the chat onto more comfortable ground and we did 2 hours on double-entry bookkeeping. Somehow it did the trick. There, under an exotic summer moon, surrounded by foreign accents and unfamiliar foods, our destinies collided.
Oof. Where were you?
Scotland.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the sort of loose cannon that's liable to go off every time I light the touch paper, stand well back and ring home to speak to my parents. I live in East London with my wife Lulu and 8-month-old twin daughters. Such is the level of casual destruction the twins have caused to my and Lulu's living arrangements that most observers would conclude that we are 2 single parents raising a child each and time-sharing a toilet. My parents live 160 miles away in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, alongside my 91-year-old grandmother, Mabel Bradley. Those self-same observers might see my granny moving into my parents' home and describe it as a touching example of the circle of life, whereas my granny describes it as less of a circle and more a disappointing U-turn, performed at very high speed and straight into a brick wall. I'd never heard the details of how my mum and dad met before. At least I don't think I have. It's actually possible that over the last 40 years, my dad has repeatedly told me this story, but it's got lost in the how can I put this, the rich stew of tedium that makes up most of our conversation. A heady and intoxicating broth from which only the occasional phrases stay with me. Phrases like adverse camber. It goes without saying I was completely in the right. And in the end, Tom, I decided to represent myself.
Thanks for booking the accommodation, son. I didn't want to leave a trail for your mother to spot. She's like an online bloodhound, always checking up on my internet history. She found the most awkward page the other day.
I don't want to know, Dad.
A very explicit analysis of Peak District agriculture in the 13th century. I had to explain that strip farming wasn't what she thought it was.
Well, I'm happy to help with the booking. It seems a strange place to go, though.
It's filled with happy associations, Tom. I still remember every word of that chat about bookkeeping. And it wasn't as one-sided as you might think. Your mother said, "Yes, I understand," on a number of occasions. Sadly, by the time we'd finished, her last bus had gone, with no option but to sleep together.
Sleep together?
Neither of us were happy about it, Tom. We were head to toe in the back of my Ford Anglia. It was swelteringly hot, mind, especially as we both kept our wax jackets on for decency. Anyway, we're going to revisit the exact spot. I bet it hasn't changed a bit.
Oh, I don't know, Dad. I think people are a bit more liberal about what they get up to in lay-bys these days. You might find you get some company. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to bore you. I'm pouring out my romantic history here.
Dad, it's not that. I'm just knackered. We're doing controlled crying.
Tom, what are you on about?
It's to help the babies sleep, Dad. You leave them to cry for ever-increasing lengths of time before you go into them. The aim being that they'll learn to self-soothe and ultimately sleep through the night. Lulu's been taking the brunt of it, and I think it's broken her. I can pick up on a few of the little signs, you know, like the way she sits on the sofa, rocking to herself, saying, "No hope, no hope," over and over again.
Uncanny. Your mother does that and we don't even have babies.
She needs to get away for the weekend, so she's going to see her parents, and I'm going to crack this controlled crying. Either I'll break them or they'll break me. And even as I say that out loud, I realise it's definitely going to be the second one.
Well, remember to call in and check on your granny. I'm really looking forward to this break, Tom.
Have you printed off the accommodation?
Yes. It looks good what you found us, Tom. I like the sound of this Airband B.
Oh, dear.
I've not heard of the hotel chain before, but I looked it up. Apparently they've got branches springing up everywhere.
Dad, it's Airbnb. You know what it is, don't you? It's people putting their own homes up to rent online. That's where the air bit comes from.
I thought it was a local business. You know, air, as in Ayrshire. I don't like the sound of this at all.
It's perfectly normal, Dad. I mean, there's loads of people my age do it.
Tom, you may be blasé about signing up for some kind of cyber squat, but it's not for me and your mother. Oh, you've worried me now.
Richard, what's all this about cyber squats? Have you got hold of another Lorraine Kelly exercise DVD? You'll only give yourself a prolapse.
No, it's nothing like that. Don't worry, love. Here, Tom's on the phone. So, in conclusion, Tom, my advice would be to try and free the blockage with a furled coat hanger and never go back to that restaurant again. OK. I'll pass you on to your mother. Remember, not a word.
OK.
Hello, Tom.
Hi, Mum. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit tired. Lulu and me are doing controlled crying.
Ah, the early days of marriage. You'll get to the uncontrolled crying soon enough.
No, Mum, it's for the kids. We're desperate for them to sleep through the night. I mean, really desperate. What did you do?
Oh, now you're asking, Tom. As I remember, it's important to have a consistent bedtime ritual. We used to give you a bath, then get you in your pyjamas and give you a warm drink. Then I'd get your father to discuss the merits of double-entry bookkeeping. If you woke up in the night, all we had to do was shout, assets equal equity plus liability, through the wall, and you'd be straight back down again.
Magic stuff. And how are things with you?
Oh, much the same as ever, love. I know you think me and your father lead an eventful life of non-stop excitement, but actually things can sometimes be a little bit drab.
You astound me.
I've been trying to push myself, Tom. I got a book out from the library, Self-Help. It told me I should do one thing every day that I'm scared of. So I took your granny down to B&M Bargains and parked in a disabled bay without a blue badge. I don't know when I've last felt so much adrenaline.
It sounds absolutely terrifying, Mum. To think some people waste their time bungee jumping. Did it make you feel any better?
No, love. I suppose I'm not cut out to be one of those danger junkies. I just like the occasional surprise, once in a while.
Well, maybe you'll get one, Mum. Maybe you'll get one very soon.
You're talking about this trip to Scotland?
How did you know about it? Dad said it was all set up to be a surprise.
Tom, I've lived with your father for more than 40 years. He's got all the stealth and cunning of a cat trying to get out of a hot bath.
So you worked it out?
My suspicions began when I noticed he'd changed his bedtime reading from Frederick Forsyth to the AA route map.
He's trying to do something nice for you, Mum, to take you back to where you first met. He says you can still picture it.
Oh, so can I, Tom. That little car parked by the side of the road. The shadowy figure reading a set of accounts by the light of a calculator. Imagine if I'd kept on walking. I suppose a trip to Scotland wouldn't be so bad. We can always look up my friend Alison. I'm sure she's still living up that way. When I was first courting your father, she was full of little hints and tips. Don't forget, Catherine, she used to say. You can always get out of this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't see how even my parents could muck up a simple weekend trip to Scotland. I figured they might even have a nice time. They'd certainly be assured of a warm welcome, particularly from Nicola Sturgeon, who'd see a visit from the Wrigglesworths as the best argument for independence she's had in decades. Meanwhile, I had to focus on getting my daughters to actually sleep. As with so many elements of looking after babies, the type of parent you think you might be before you have one is very much at odds with the type of parent you actually are. Before we had children, I used to sleep for 9 hours a day and another 8 at night. And I would have considered anyone who let a baby cry for as much as a second a borderline psychopath. Now, with 2 screaming 8-month-olds to deal with, I've begun to think that borderline psychopaths suffer from unfairly bad press. But there was someone else I had to look out for too. If my parents were going away for the weekend, that meant my granny would be all on her own.
Hello? I'd just like to ask you a few questions to prove you're not a robot. What is the capital of France?
Paris.
Yes? Well, I expect even a robot knows that. Which of the following is not a tree? Sycamore, willow, donut?
Donut.
I've got willow written down here. When you say it out loud, it doesn't seem quite right.
Granny, it's Tom.
Oh, hello, Thomas. Sorry about all the security, but you can't be too careful what with all the Russian bots about. Did I ever mention my friend Janice? You know the one, went vegan last year, but it cleared up after a fortnight.
No, I don't think so.
Well, she had her Morrison's loyalty card cloned, and the amount of loo paper she'd been getting through became the talk of the town.
Julian Assange has a lot to answer for.
We were all told about data security this week at Lunch Club, all part of a 6-week course in silver surfing.
Oh, that sounds nice. So you can view pictures of your grandchildren online and that sort of thing.
You waste your time how you want, Thomas. I'm getting into the Bitcoin mining.
Crikey. Well, it sounds like you've got plenty to keep you busy while Mum and Dad are away.
Too right, Thomas. I've put the word out on Facebook. Free house this weekend. No carers. All the gang are coming round for the big TV event.
Let me guess. Sky have got the rights to World Championship crochet.
Oh, Thomas, you are funny. No, it's the Antiques Roadshow. They recorded this week's in Sheffield, and we're going to watch it. The Colonel went down to the recording with some of his trophies from Africa. They said they couldn't show any of them on screen because there'd be too many complaints. He did get to meet Fiona Bruce, though.
Wow.
He said she was very nice and not in the least bit slutty. So, all in all, he was disappointed.
Well, Granny, I hope you enjoy the unique road thingy.
You all right, Thomas? You've started sounding like everyone in my immediate peer group.
Sorry, Granny, it's just tiredness. We're doing controlled crying. It's to help the twins sleep through the night. You leave them to cry rather than going into them. It's what they say to do in all the books, Granny.
Well, it wasn't how we did it in my day. We used gin to get babies to sleep. And it worked to a degree. The problem is you have to get the measurement right. Too little and you've just got a tipsy baby on your hands. Too much gin and the babies would start crying again, only this time sat at the foot of the stairs with a fag on.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to make it very clear that although my granny's advice was given with the best intentions, I wasn't about to put my infant on hard liquor. I think it'd be rather difficult to explain to a health visitor if they popped round and found a baby sucking on a teat at the end of an optic. So when Lulu headed off on Friday evening, I was ready to resume the controlled crying solo. The instructions I'd been given suggested leaving your baby to cry for 2 minutes before going in to settle them, then 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and so on. Armed with a pocket full of dummies and a stopwatch around my neck, I put the babies down, said goodnight, and waited by the door. I lasted 27 seconds. In fairness, it was probably only about 19 seconds, but in my panic to get there and stop the sobbing, I got the stopwatch caught around the door handle.
Hello, Nissan Micra JP24 XTS.
Dad, it's Tom.
Tom, you've come through on the Bluetooth and hijacked the car stereo.
What time did you start out for Scotland?
I left it as late as I thought was practical and sensible, Tom. So we set off just after 4 a.m. We're making great progress, despite a somewhat circuitous route. I wanted the journey to take us through as few Lib Dem-controlled council areas as possible. One doesn't want to set foot on enemy territory if you can avoid it. But it's a difficult thing to plot.
Yeah, I imagine. Hey, what did Mum say when you told her about the surprise?
Very surprised, Tom. When I stood over her at 3:30 this morning, banging a gong, dressed in a kilt I'd made myself from a tartan picnic blanket. I think you could almost say she was astonished.
Must have been quite a moment.
Yeah, but there's a fly in the ointment. She was straight onto her friend, Alison, texting to see if we could go over there for Sunday lunch.
That sounds nice, Dad.
You've not met Alison, then. That woman is evil incarnate. Your mother wants to take her flowers. I think a more appropriate gift would be a ducking stool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my wife had managed to get away for the weekend, which meant I was left to look after the kids. If by look after you mean blunder around the house juggling nappies and dubbies while exhibiting all the telltale signs of extreme sleep deprivation. I don't know if you remember, but the US Army used to break Al-Qaeda suspects through exposing them for hours on end to songs by a purple dinosaur designed for small children. They should have just cut out the middleman and given them the small children. Hello?
Tom, it's your mum. I'm just calling from the Airband B. I've left your dad at the little shop. They gave him a Clydesdale Bank fiver as change and is disputing whether it's legal tender. So I reckon I'm good for about, at least an hour's me time.
And how's the place you're staying in, Mum?
Oh, you've picked us a nice one, Tom. It's not like any hotel I've stayed in, really. Very odd decor. All boxes of children's toys and photos of someone else's family. But the bathroom's very well equipped. Usually, you only get a tiny soap and some little bottles of shampoo. This one's got a cupboard full of medicines and about 6 different toothbrushes. I'm assuming you can just clear them all into your suitcase when you leave.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Mum. Have you been down to look at your lay-by yet?
That's the one black mark on the whole trip. It's gone.
How do you mean, gone?
The whole road's been rerouted. Part of a new bypass. The spot where your dad parked up, it's all fields now.
Ah, what a shame. How terrible it is when a much-loved beauty spot is ruined by the arrival of nature.
It came as such a shock. Of course, we'd have been forewarned if your dad's route map hadn't been published in 1986. Have you spoken to your granny today?
Not yet, no.
Oh, do make sure you check in with her. Look, I'd better go and get ready. Your dad's taking me out for dinner.
Ooh, a nice local restaurant? Some authentic Scottish cuisine?
No, we've looked on your dad's map and there's a Burney Inn a couple of miles up the road. So we'll be fine. See you later. Love you lots. Bye.
Mum. Oh, they closed in the 90s. Right, Granny.
Hello? If that's you, Louise, you're not coming to the party. You can't be trusted around other people's underwear.
No, Granny, it's me, Tom.
Oh, hello, Thomas. Well, as you can tell, it's all quiet here. Nothing is out of the ordinary, and absolutely nobody is in your mum and dad's room getting up to funny business on a pile of coats.
Sounds like you've got a few friends around, Granny.
Just a few, Thomas. I'd say no more than 80 or 90.
Blimey, Granny, that's a lot of people. Aren't you worried about the neighbours?
I am a bit. They're the ones on top of the pile of coats. I'll tell you, Thomas, this is an eye-opening experience for me. It's amazing how many people you can get round if you advertise a free-for-all party on social media.
You realise what's happened, Granny? You've been flash mobbed.
Don't be ridiculous, Thomas. Practically all of them have still got their trousers on. Oh, spoke too soon. The Colonel's doing his party piece. Oh, what a lot of 10 pences that is.
Did you enjoy the Antiques Roadshow?
To be honest, it was hard to make out over all the singing. Thomas,
You're not going to tell on me to your mum and dad, are you?
I don't know, Granny. It sounds like they're not going to be happy with all the mess.
Thomas, compared to what they've made me put up with down the years, this is just the smallest sliver of payback.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I took a point, of course, and decided not to mention the party to my mum and dad, in keeping with my long-standing principle where my family is concerned, of never getting involved with anything for which I cannot be directly blamed. Meanwhile, I faced another night contending with the lights of my life, otherwise known as the gruesome twosome. I decided that what was required was a more lateral approach. I realised that the problem was my sensitivity to the crying of the twins, so what I needed to do was desensitise myself. So using my technological know-how, I recorded a few minutes of them crying and made a loop out of it. So before long, I had several hours of non-stop howling I could play back through my headphones. It wasn't exactly easy listening, but I once drove across France with nothing but a CD of the best of Celine Dion, and compared to that kind of punishment, this was nothing. After getting myself used to the sound of their tears, I found that I was able to resist rushing in and could wait as long as the time specified in the plan. I realised I had crossed one of the most critical Rubicons in the life of a parent, becoming indifferent to the misery of your own children. Oh, hello? God, I'm tired.
Tom, what are you playing at? Are you still in bed?
Typical, he's probably on drugs.
Your father says you're probably on drugs.
I know, I can hear him.
You need to make the most of your day, Tom. Your father and I have been on the road for hours.
What do you mean, hours? Where are you going?
Scotland.
Before you say anything, Tom, this is all entirely rational behaviour.
Right. I feel like you're getting your excuses in first.
It all started with dinner last night. We drove round and round, but we couldn't find that Bernie Inn anywhere. Then we got back to the Airband B and we locked ourselves out. So we took the only practical course of action. We drove down to Sheffield, slept a few hours in our own beds, then got up again at 4 a.m. and started driving back to Scotland.
Why are you driving back to Scotland again?
Well, we couldn't miss out on the chance to see Alison. Not while we're in the area.
Anyway, it was lucky we did pop home when we did.
Why's that then?
We'd been burgled.
No.
And while Granny was in the house too. A poor defenceless old woman.
Is she all right?
She's absolutely fine. Couldn't hear anything over the sound of the Antiques Roadshow. But your father took it very badly, didn't you, Richard?
I think all the drama of the day had got to me, Tom. I was in floods of tears.
I decided not to go to him immediately. And it did the trick because eventually he calmed down and went to sleep.
Strangest burglars you've ever come across, Tom. Didn't take anything away, but drained every drop of alcohol in the house.
And how's your situation, Tom? With the girls?
It's all right, Mum. Well, sort of. The twins slept through the night fine.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
I, on the other hand, didn't sleep a wink. Couldn't get the sound of howling out of my head. I was wide awake all night. By the time dawn came, I was in a fetal position on the bed, sobbing to myself. I tell you, Mum, the twins are dead good at controlled crying because despite all the noise I was making, they didn't come into me once.
Well, Tom, much as we'd like to help, I think your mother and I had better go now. We've got a whole day together to enjoy.
Richard, we're not due at Alison's till 2. Do you think we could park up and get some shut-eye?
Are you sure, love? I haven't packed our wax jackets.
I don't think we'll be needing them.
Oh, crikey. Tom, we're going to be enjoying ourselves, so if at all possible, do try not to bother us for the rest of the day.
Not that we don't enjoy hearing your voice.
But you do have the habit of calling us up whenever you encounter the slightest problem, even when it's really not all that necessary.
Fair enough, Dad. I'll bear it in mind.
Thanks, son. Much appreciated.
Tom Wrigglesworth's Hang-Up starred Tom Wrigglesworth, Paul Copley, Kate Anthony and Elizabeth Bennett. It was written by Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle, with additional material by Miles Jupp. The producer was Richard Morris, and it was a BBC Studios production.
Wrigglesworths Hang-Ups by Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle. Richard Wrigglesworth's Hang-Ups.
All right, Dad. Is it urgent?
Eh? Oh dear. There's a number of ways I could find fault with that as a greeting.
Yeah, it's just I'm a bit busy looking after the babies. Hey, don't touch that. It's not been properly earthed.
For a start... For a start, when you pick up the phone, you should clearly and confidently name your area, followed by your local number. How else am I supposed to know I've called the right place?
I'd have thought the word Dad might have been a bit of a giveaway.
Tom, you'll be amazed at some of the things I'm called by complete strangers.
Do you know what? I don't think I would. Hey, don't put that in your mouth. It fell off one of the cats.
And then there's your choice of the word all right. Suppose I'd been ringing with bad news like a death in the family or a threat to the future of Sheffield's tram network. Your cheerful all right would have been totally inappropriate. All right is a very high-risk salutation, Tom. Take a leaf out of my book. When I'm greeting someone I don't know well, I normally go for something neutral like yes. And when it's a friend or a family member, I tend to go for something slightly more informal, like what?
Dad.
The thing I was least happy with was the question, is it urgent? As if I'd ever ring you up just to waste your time with fatuous remarks, Tom.
Dad, I'm sorry, but I'm juggling 8-month-old twins here.
How you choose to liven up your tired stage act is no concern of mine, Tom. The reason I'm calling is that I wanted to tell you what happened at the library.
I didn't think you had a library. I thought the council had closed it. I can't remember if it was down to cutbacks or they thought giving you information would only make you more dangerous.
The Central Library, Tom. We have to go there now. Anyway, I got talking to a chap called Julian. Works for Sheffield Community Radio. He was doing some vox pops in the library and he asked if I had any opinions about things happening in the local area.
Oh, God. Talk about hitting a hornet's nest with a broom handle.
Julian was very interested in my opinions, Tom. Reckons I'm the perfect fit for Sheffield Community Radio. I don't understand all the jargon, but apparently I have the potential to fill hours of dead air. They want to give me my own little show, Tom.
What are you going to talk about that will possibly be of interest to anyone?
I'm going to tell stories about notable incidents that have happened to the Wrigglesworth family in a way that is both comedic and heartwarming. Do you think there's a market for that sort of thing?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the sort of curveball that comes my way whenever I make contact with what I like to think of as the other side. Obviously, that's not to say my parents are dead. It's more an admission that as the father of 8-month-old twins, I exist on such little sleep, I no longer make a reflection in the mirror. My parents are both settled in a peaceful retirement. And by peaceful, I mean they see the discovery of an out-of-date packet of pork chops in the fridge as justification enough to tell you that they've had a very eventful week. I live with a wife and kids in London, whereas my parents live 160 miles away in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, alongside my 91-year-old grandmother, Mabel Bradley. The decision to move my granny in with my parents was recommended by Sheffield Care Services, who sat my granny down one day and said, "Look, it's only a matter of time before something bad happens, if you don't move in to look after them." This whole radio project was a bolt from the blue. My dad normally treats his opinions like a hereditary disease, something you inflict on your nearest and dearest, but don't pass it on to the population at large.
I don't know what you're so annoyed about. I've got loads of good stories.
Like what?
There's the time your mother got stuck in the loft.
You got stuck in the loft?
There's the time she planted Japanese knotweed in the garden.
That was you!
Then there was the time she organised a disastrous dinner to mark the repeal of the Corn Laws.
Also you.
I've had to change some of the details, Tom.
Dad, this is exactly the same as my radio series.
That's never still going on.
It is. I'm not going to rise to this, Dad. Hey, put that down. He hasn't got the safety on.
Tom, you must stop mollycoddling your children like this. You've got to leave them free to make their own mistakes. I gave you a wide berth till you were around 15. Then I had to resign myself to the fact you weren't going anywhere.
If I sound tense, Dad, I'll tell you why. Norovirus. There's a lot of it about at the moment. And you know how little kids spread stuff about. It's really putting me on edge. Every time we go to a soft play centre, it feels like passing through a plague village.
Oh, Lord. Dear, oh dear. Norovirus, that is a worry. You must be in a real panic.
I'm glad you think so.
You're worrying about next weekend's biennial Wrigglesworth family photo. Well, me too, son. We don't need anyone in the front row bright yellow and emitting from both ends. We had enough of that with Uncle Trevor, God rest his soul.
Dad, there are more important things in life than our family photo.
Let's not exaggerate, Tom. Look, it's Monday now. If they get norovirus today, they could be on the mend by Thursday, right as rain come the weekend. Yes, you need to infect them now, Tom.
You want me to deliberately infect my children with a vomiting bug?
Don't make me out to be the villain here, Tom. It's only norovirus, just a bump in the road. Think of it as a valuable opportunity for you and your wife to grow as people. 3 days where you're all running around alternately cleaning up each other's vomit and vomiting yourselves. It's basically a free team-building exercise.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't surprised by my dad's attitude. His biennial family photo is always a big deal. He probably hasn't been thinking about anything else for the last 720-odd days. Whereas I was genuinely worried about the norovirus, mainly because I thought I might catch it. And before you say anything, that's not selfishness. It's a result of a sober, rational calculation of exactly what's at stake. The wife's given up working to focus on bringing up the kids. Or, to put it another way, she's taken on a lot more work for a lot less money, with 2 very demanding bosses who won't let her take any sick days and can't seem to stop thinking about her breasts. So it's basically the same as when she was in sales. That means I'm the sole breadwinner and the sole trader, and there's no sick pay for comics. If we don't work, there's no money coming in. This is why you see so many people sniffing on TV panel shows. It's not because they're cokeheads. They're trying to shift a cold without the benefit of a day's subsidised bed rest. Actually, I'll put it another way. It's not just because they're cokeheads. Hello? Oh, hang on. I'll just take this surgical face mask off.
Tom, it's your mum. What's with the face mask? You're not still playing doctors and nurses, are you? There are a number of playgroups we had to take you out of.
No, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I was just pouring boiling hot bleach on the front step.
Oh, dear. I do think you London people are very hard on your rough sleepers.
That's not it, Mum. It's for hygiene. I'm creating a germ-free barrier between the inside of the house and the outside world. How are things over there?
Oh, never better, Tom. Your dad's working on the script for his show, and your granny's reading a book about Korean martial arts. So all in all, it's very much business as usual.
I can't believe he's still going ahead with that radio thing.
Oh, it'll be nice to finally have something funny to listen to.
Yeah, thanks, Mum.
You sound tired, love.
Well, it's tough being a parent in 2019.
Yes, I suppose I've got all of this to come.
Yeah. Hang on, what are you talking about? All this to come? You're not about to be a parent.
Well, in a manner of speaking.
Mum, getting a new kettle is not the same thing.
No, Tom, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the group I've signed up with. The Nether Edge Angels.
Oh, God. Talk about the impact of austerity. They close down one library and the OAPs join a biker gang.
Tom, it's nothing like that. It's not a gang and none of us are bikers. Although Janet wears a leather jacket, but only because she hates vegetarians. We're childminders.
Ah, right. Old people looking after the kids. I can see that working. I imagine you'll bond over your mutual inability to get to the bathroom on time.
Tom, this is a very serious enterprise.
Well, I wish you luck, but I don't know that many people are going to fancy putting their kids in the hands of senior citizens from Nether Edge. You might as well cover them in brown sauce and leave them on the hillside for wolves. Are you sure you got the energy for all this, Mum? Little kids take it out of you. I get to the end of the day looking after the twins. I've barely got the energy to push the tears out of my eyes.
Yes, well, I can use the energy that I would be spending on my own grandchildren if they were closer than 160 miles away.
Oh, here we go.
Fancy bringing up your children in London, Tom. You know you're setting them up for a life of crime. Have you not seen the film Oliver? Before you know it, they'll be going around the place singing and nicking handkerchiefs. At least I'll be seeing them at the weekend for the photo.
Well, yeah. I mean, as long as the kids are healthy enough.
Catherine, who's on the phone? Is it one of my cold callers? Just say the word and I'll go into my combat stance.
No, Mum, it's Tom. Honestly, that book's gone right to her head. Next time she's getting Maeve Binchy.
Put me on, I want to speak to him. Hello? Thomas, it's your granny. You're talking to a woman who is turning her body into an ultimate fighting machine. This taekwondo has opened my eyes, Thomas. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Tell that to a 91-year-old woman who's turning her feet into fists.
Is it not a bit physically challenging?
Nonsense, Thomas. We're all getting into it at lunch club. One of us holds the pads while the other jabs, and neither of you have to get off your mobility scooters. How are the little ones?
It's difficult. It's not easy to explain the oral transmission of bacteria to an 8-month-old, especially when you turn around and see a twin sister drinking out of a puddle.
Oh, Tom, you can't be worrying about germs. Disease is part of life. When I was a little girl, we used to look forward to it.
What?
Oh, yes. A good serious illness was a real treat. You'd get a whole side of the bed to yourself and first go in the tin bath of a Friday. I had rubella for a whole fortnight once the other kids in the street were dead jealous.
That's as maybe, but you weren't the sole breadwinner in your family, were you? I can't afford to get sick, Granny. And then there's the hell of caring for twins with norovirus. You don't know what vomiting is until you've heard it in stereo. So, I'm cleansing the house of every microbe I can find.
You don't want to do that, Thomas. You'll upset the cosmic balance that holds the entire universe in order.
Dear, maybe this is a bad line, Granny, but it sounds like you've gone all Ravi Shankar.
You can't be eradicating microbes, Thomas. The universe needs to be held in a balance between opposing forces. Light and dark, fire and ice, Eamon and Ruth.
Where did you learn that?
Taekwondo involves a lot of spiritual awareness, Thomas. That and flying kicks to the solar plexus. Mr. Broughton says it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
Who's Mr. Broughton?
At lunch club, he's the one who got us into Taekwondo. He was in Burma during the war, and he's very much in touch with the mysteries of the East. He practically lives on pot noodles. Anyway, my point is, you shouldn't be fighting germs, at least not with anything other than traditional methods.
Like what?
If I remember rightly, and it has been a while, I may get some of the measurements wrong, you bury a dead frog under an old oak tree, dig it up on the first Tuesday following a full moon, then slice it in two and place it over your nose and mouth.
And that stops you catching diseases?
Oh, yes. No one will come near you. Unless it's to lock you up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't sure my granny's advice was all that helpful. I suppose different people do have different attitudes to hygiene, especially when it comes to their kids. Some people take it very seriously. The kid only has to touch a doorknob before they're in there with the wet wipes, removing any trace of possible contamination. Other people, much more relaxed, and see nothing wrong with, for example, changing a baby's nappy on a surface that has recently been used to prepare raw chicken.
Sheffield 61977.
Hi, Dad. It's Tom.
What?
No, you're right. That is effective.
Thank you. How are the little ones?
All right so far. Actually, bit of news. One of the twins rolled over today.
At 8 months? That's impressive.
Yeah, I'd put the cot up wrong. One of the end pieces was upside down, so the whole thing was on a slope.
I knew it was too good to be true. If you want sharp kids, you should check out the ones your mother was looking after the other day.
All right.
They were a joy. Polite, charming, credibly gifted. One of them built a tower of bricks 3 stories high, and I could swear it was influenced by the Palladian style. Anyway, you won't believe this, and I never imagined I'd one day come to utter these words, but I'm glad you rang.
This sounds ominous.
I wanted to run some ideas for my radio show past you. I thought I could take the listener through a typical telephone call between me, Richard Wrigglesworth, and my high-achieving son. The son, of course, will be fictional.
Dad?
The aim is to entertain the listener with the humour and warmth of the father-son relationship, plus some occasional tips about DIY targeted at the enthusiastic layman. Here, I'll give you a taste of what I'm planning, if you could cue me in.
Cue you in?
It's a technical term we use in radio, Tom. I'd like you to make a noise of a phone ringing.
Ring, ring.
Sheffield 61977. Is that you, Tom? I was just thinking you normally phone at this time. As with every other aspect of your life, you didn't let me down. I assume you've had a busy and productive day at your high-profile law firm. Your mother and I find it a constant source of relief that you went into a stable and honourable profession, rather than, for example, panhandling a living as some sort of feckless jester.
Dad!
And yet, despite your frantic schedule, you still find the time to call your loving father to hear all the latest news. By the way, before I forget, never employ a pair of pliers to do the job of a spanner. Because if those pliers damage the surface of a nut, you'll be enjoying a present success at the expense of a troubled future.
Is Mum there?
Some people have no idea what constitutes quality broadcasting. Catherine, it's Tom, the real one.
Tom, I can't be on the phone all day. I've got to think about the activities for tomorrow's childminding. You know what? I'd forgotten how exhausting looking after children can be. I'm beat at the end of the day.
That seems about standard. Anyway, if you're so keen on looking after kids, why don't you come down here for a few days?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Tom. I hardly think these children's parents would thank me for dragging them all the way to London.
No, forget it. It's not worth it. Look, Mum, I wanted to talk to you about Dad. It's this community radio show, Mum. I'm quite worried about it. I think he's doing the whole thing to embarrass me.
Oh, now, don't be ridiculous, Tom. He's written the son up as a high flyer whose achievements bring credit to his family. No one will ever recognise you. I won't be sorry when the whole thing's over, mind.
You and me both.
He's always following me around with a notepad, expecting me to say or do amusing things. The other night I woke up and turned over, and there he was, staring at me. He said he was hoping I might do something warm and light-hearted in my sleep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you might think I'm being a little bit unfair to my dad, trying to deny him his opportunity for self-expression, but I've seen a lot of my dad's self-expression over the years, and it's never done him or anyone else any good. And there's something deeply unsettling about your parents trespassing on your professional world. I don't think anyone would like it. I think Stella McCartney would be a bit miffed if her fashion models were striding down the catwalk only for her dad, Sir Paul, to leap onto the stage with a poncho he'd made using an old car blanket and some scissors and ask if anyone would give him a fiver for it. I guess that ultimately what I'm saying is that your parents aren't supposed to compete with you. They're supposed to concentrate on what they're best at, which, as far as I can work out, is hanging on the end of a phone line and destabilising you psychologically.
Hello?
Hey, Granny, it's Tom. How are you?
Oh, hello, Thomas. It's been all go at lunch club today. When the drinks trolley came round, the bovril was lukewarm. Well, I complained to Mrs. Gardner, but she was giving me the brush off, so I ended up having to soften her up with an axe kick.
Oh, God, is she all right?
She said she barely felt it. My ankles aren't the lethal weapons they used to be, Thomas. Still, Mr. Broughton was very impressed, presented me with a blue belt.
Wow.
Of course, it does mean his dressing gown keeps falling open. But it's nothing I haven't seen before. And how are the twins? Are you still bathing them in domestos every half hour? I wondered if you wanted me to knit them a little biohazard romper suit.
Nah, I've stopped all that, Granny.
Oh, you've got some perspective.
No, they've got hand, foot and mouth disease. Hardly seems worth going on with the anti-germ campaign. Why close the stable door when the horse is already covered in blisters?
Blisters?
Yeah, it's nasty. All over their mouth and in between the toes.
Oh, yes, I know that kind of thing. My friend Pauline had something like that during the war. We reckon she got it off a GI in exchange for a tin of custard. Do you have any American Air Force bases in your area?
I don't think it's that, Granny. But they're not going to look great in the family photo. I hope Dad's not going to mind too much. I mean, it won't be the sort of picture you'll hang in the living room, more the sort of thing you'd hang in a field to scare away birds.
I'm sure he won't mind, Thomas. I expect it'll give him some material from his radio programme.
Yeah, that makes me feel a whole lot better. You know, he's made up a completely different son. A lawyer. Shows you what he thinks of me.
Thomas, you have to realise that your dad is very proud of you. It's just that he finds it very hard to express his true feelings. And rather than overcome those difficulties, he finds it easier just to erase you from existence.
Well, that's very comforting, Granny.
Hold on, here he comes now. It's Thomas on the phone.
Tom, it's your dad.
Yes. What?
Oh, a double greeting. Full marks for style. I just wondered if you could tell me, how tall did you end up getting?
How tall?
I distinctly remember you coming up to my knee around the time the Falklands were invaded, but since then I've lost track.
I'm about 6'3", Dad.
Good God, what an apparition. No, that's good, actually. I can put you in the second row, directly behind your cousin Charlie.
Charlie? Charlie who plays rugby? He's about 6'5" and built like a tank. No one will be able to see me.
Exactly, Tom. The Wrigglesworth family will be looking their best.
And where are you going to put the twins?
The twins will be front and centre, one cradled in each of my arms, symbolic of the Wrigglesworth torch being passed down from generation to generation, skipping over the throwback in the middle.
Very nice.
I thought you'd be pleased, son. Your kids are going to be the centrepiece of the whole shot. Anyone who looks at the photo, their eyes will be irresistibly drawn to them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they will.
What do you mean?
They've got hand, foot and mouth.
You what?
It's a virus, Dad. The upshot is, they're covered in sores.
Oh, well, this is typical, Tom. You've always been out to scupper this photograph, haven't you? Now you think you're going to turn the whole thing into a cross between a family portrait and the singing detective.
I didn't plan all of this, Dad. I was trying to keep them germ-free.
I know what you're up to. Keeping them isolated so their immune system stayed underdeveloped, just waiting for the right time and the right infection. I knew you were going to try and sabotage the photo somehow, but I never thought you'd resort to biological warfare.
Dad, you're being ridiculous. The kids have hand, foot and mouth. If you want them in your photo, you're just going to have to accept it.
Well, listeners to Sheffield Community Radio, it was clear that my efforts to organise the family photograph were going about as well as an attempt to hang a Venetian blind, having underestimated the drop required, the pitfalls of which I explained at length earlier in the programme. It seemed that despite the best efforts of my talented lawyer son, Tom, his children had, after all, fallen prey to a grotesque infection. I don't know how it happened. I know they go to a nursery in London, and it may be they've been exposed to the offspring of stand-up comedians. A class of people so lackadaisical, it's a wonder they managed to put their genitals in the right place to have children at all. But what was I to do about the photograph? Well, after several sleepless nights, I came up with a stratagem as cunning as cutting a lap joint with a circular saw when you don't have access to a dado stack. And I'll explain the details in a couple of minutes, following a roundup of the very latest from local scout and guide groups. Hello, Sheffield 61977.
Dad, it's Tom.
Oh, hello, son. Have you calmed down yet? You should order a print of this photo. You've come out very well. I can see your hand very clearly waving round the side of Charlie's left bicep.
And the kids?
Front and centre of the photo, Tom, just as I planned.
I mean, my kids.
Tom, I already explained this. Owing to a last-minute change of plan, they had to be removed from the shot and replaced with the kids your mother was childminding. You'd have known all about it if you hadn't been lurking around behind Cousin Charlie.
It's absolutely disgraceful.
Oh, give over, Tom. They've lifted the whole photograph. I happen to think they give the Wrigglesworth family a touch of class.
And what do their parents make of all this?
Ah, well, I haven't actually had the chance to show them yet. I was going to explain when they dropped the kids off today, but, well...
What?
They've got norovirus.
Oh, dear. And you had them in your arms all throughout that photo session?
Yes. At the moment, I'm taking each day as it comes. Your mother's cleaned a lot of underwear, so we prepare for anything.
Well, never mind, Dad. You can talk about it all on your radio programme.
Oh, yes, the radio programme. You know what? I don't think I'm as welcome at the radio station these days. There was an incident.
That doesn't surprise me, Dad. It's not like your life's not made up of anything else.
They asked me to cover another slot, you see, owing to the indisposition of the regular presenter. One of the biggest shows on the station, Saturday Night Taekwondo.
Usually presented by Mr. Broughton?
He was out of action, you see, so they asked if I could fill in. Well, I was only too happy to do my bit. Borrowed your granny's book to swat up on Taekwondo, and the first 2 or 3 hours went brilliantly. But then, I don't know what it was, I think I must have drifted off mentally. And I've been talking so much about DIY recently. Anyway, before I knew it, there I was on the airwaves, giving a very detailed description of how to attack someone with a gas-powered nail gun.
Hang on. How do you even know how to do that?
It's one of my recurring dreams about Sheffield City Council. Well, I can't go back on the radio now, Tom. I've committed incitement to violence. I'm a fugitive from justice. Worse than that, I'm a fugitive from Ofcom.
It's a great loss to the world of broadcasting, Dad.
I know, son. I suppose I'll just have to do what I've always done. Share my opinions and stories only with those closest to me. Like you, Tom.
Yeah. Just hang on a sec.
What's the matter?
I'm looking for my toolkit. I don't know how you've done it, Dad, but you've given me this incredible urge to hammer something into myself. Where have I put that nail gun?
Tom Wrigglesworth's Hang-Ups starred Tom Wrigglesworth, Paul Copley, Kate Anthony and Elizabeth Bennett. It was written by Tom Wrigglesworth and James Kettle with additional material by Miles Jupp. The producer was Richard Morris and it was a BBC Studios production.